I did part 1 last night. I'm going to do part 2 today. Sound good? Sounds good. I'm going to count down from 80 to 61. And again, these were tough calls. Not easy. Number 80. And again, I don't have room for the band names. Gold Dust Woman. Now, you may be leaning towards the Fleetwood Mac version. For me, it's the version sung by Courtney Love's band Hole. It's the only song of theirs that I really like, and it's because The Crow Part 2 was a horrible movie with a great soundtrack, whereas the original Crow was a great movie with a good soundtrack. If you'd taken the Crow City of Angels soundtrack and put it into the original Crow movie, you've got this beautiful, wonderful thing, but sadly you don't. Another song I recommend from that is PJ Harvey's Naked Cousin, which did not make the top 100, but great song. She has a great voice. Fantastic. Number 79. And I should mention which version of this I'm talking about. Behind Blue Eyes. I am not talking about the Limp Bizkit cover version. I am talking about the original by The Who. There's so much anger in this song. There's so much emotion behind the way it's sang. Roger Daltrey just knocks this one out of the park. I'm not, big on a lot of different 70s and 60s songs. For instance, All Along the Watchtower didn't make the top 100. I really, really, really agonized over that one. So eventually, when this countdown expands to hundreds, which it eventually will, All Along the Watchtower will get mentioned, and it doesn't matter which version it is, whether it's an original or remix, they're all fantastic. But Behind Blue Eyes is untouchable. And even though Limp Bizkit used a speak and spell type speech at the end of it, which LIMP, discover Limp, I really don't think he thought that through. But The Who was smart enough not to use a speak and spell, and partly for that reason, it gets that spot. Number 78, and this was a tough one because this is honestly like one of my favorite songs ever. INXS is known for Listen Like Thieves and all of their fun little albums. The Gift came from an album nobody bought. The Gift was, I believe, their last album with Michael Hutchence. And it is just, The Gift is this fantastic, loud, bombastic song that it's just, and again, it's emotions. There's a lot of emotions. Like the original Gold Dust Woman by Fleetwood Mac, there's a lot of emotions in that one too. And The Gift is no stranger to that. And if you've never heard The Gift by INXS, go listen to it. It's better than almost anything else they did. For instance, Never Tear Us Apart isn't in this. Need You Tonight isn't in this. Suicide Blonde, Devil Inside. A lot of really good songs that I really like from them are not on this. Number 77. There's only 2 songs by AC/DC that made it, and Who Made Who makes it. Who Made Who makes it because it's a fun song, and it's from a movie that was really, really awful. Maximum Overdrive is one of the worst movies ever. It doesn't make any sense. There's no part of Maximum Overdrive that makes any sense. But it's fun. And it's fun because the entire soundtrack's AC/DC. I do not have Ride On in this. I do not have DT in this. DT is one of the most awesome songs without lyrics. And yet, it's not on this chart. But Who Made Who is because it is more than Thunderstruck. Everybody loves Thunderstruck, and every time I turn around, Thunderstruck's played somewhere. But Who Made Who is the fun one for me. That's the one that when the beat starts, I find myself headbanging right off and I'm not even where I'm doing it. And it's like, oh, okay, all right, Who Made Who's on? All right, that's why I'm doing that. Number 76, and I'm seeing these guys on Saturday. It's the only song they have in the top 100, but I like It Heavy is a good one too. I Miss the Misery by Hailstorm. Hailstorm's a band that I kept seeing people post about years back, and I just kind of ignored it. And then one day I listened to a few of their songs, and I know when I ended up suddenly single about 4 years ago, I Miss the Misery. That song just, it spoke to me from that moment on, and it was just, I would listen to that song for like an hour. I just have it on repeat. Great song. Lizzie Hale's got an amazing voice. Definitely one of the best front women in rock. I don't consider Hailstorm to be metal. And there was Stone Sour this week, and I don't necessarily consider Stone Sour to be metal either. I know Corey Taylor, lead singer of Slipknot, makes it feel metal, but to me, Stone Sour, minus a few songs, is more of a rock band than a metal band. And it's a fine line. Number 75. And I know everybody loves this one. Pink Floyd or Korn. Either version, Another Brick in the Wall. And I didn't put a part next to it. I know Another Brick in the Wall Part 2 is what everybody knows. I love the entire thing. Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. One of my favorite things to do when I was bored at my old job, because it was really loud, is I would sing my own version of it, where all 3 parts are kind of intertwined. And I could extend that to like 20 minutes, just singing to myself. It is such a great song. And that whole album is fantastic. And the whole album just keeps echoing the guitar and the bass line of Another Brick in the Wall. So that you feel rewarded when Another Brick in the Wall Part 2 starts up. But I don't feel like Another Brick in the Wall Part 3, which Goodbye Cruel World is at the end of. And again, I could put Goodbye Cruel World up here and just make it basically almost the entire album. But Another Brick in the Wall is a great song. The album would be much higher than 75th. The song itself for me is 75th. Number 74. Another long title. Going back to the 80s with this one too. Motley Crue, Too Young to Fall in Love. There's no song of Motley Crue's I find myself singing more than this one. I don't know what it is. This album apparently was great because I think Too Young to Fall in Love and the other Motley Crue song that you'll see on this countdown, I think they both came from Theater of Pain. I might be wrong though. Too Young to Fall in Love may have been the one before that. But this is when Motley Crue was at their best. And it was a long, long, long time ago. And I'm going to give you a hint. Dr. Feelgood is not on this chart. Dr. Feelgood for me was a great riff with kind of an average song. If the entire song was somehow focused on that riff that's at the start, that part at the start and in the video when you see it going across the desert, panning into the tent, that's fantastic. Make the whole video that. And you've got yourself something fantastic because it sounds sinister, it sounds awesome, and then as soon as Vince Neil starts singing, you're like, but it's a Crue song. I don't get that with Too Young to Fall in Love. It's just this great, great song all the way through. Number 73. Going back to Tool. Stinkfist. Great song. Fantastic song, right from the opening right till the end. From Enema and a nice setup for what that whole album is. And I could have put every song from that album on this chart easily. And if I end up expanding this to 200, 300, 400 songs the next time I do it, Tool is going to be even more dominant in the top 100 because I'll allow myself to put more Tool songs in the top 100. Stinkfist though is just awesome. It's fantastic. Love, and the video for Stinkfist is awesome. I said American because I'm looking at the next song. I mean, it is American because, you know, Maynard did apologize for being American at the Perfect Circle concert. American Woman. No, not Lenny Kravitz. The Guess Who. Not the Lenny Kravitz version. The Lenny Kravitz version's fun, but this version is awesome. And any other versions that exist, there's a lot of covers of American Woman. The original by the Guess Who is fantastic. I used to sing a medley of American Woman and Pour Some Sugar on Me because they have the same beat and almost the same tune. I'm the only one that hears it, but they're extremely similar. And Pour Some Sugar on Me is not on this chart, but American Woman is. American Woman is just, it's awesome. It's so much fun. And it is one of the few Canadian songs on my chart. Like Sunglasses at Night didn't make it. Run to You by Bryan Adams didn't make it. One Good Reason by Northern Pikes didn't make it, though I highly recommend listening to that song. It's a great song. Number 71. Why not have an anthem? We Will Rock You by Queen. It's a short song. I've also, if you haven't heard the extended version, which I don't know if it exists outside of the music video, any CD of Queens, it just plays the 2-minute version. There's an extended version in the video where they play it sped up with all the instruments. It's kind of fun, but it's kind of not at the same time. The original, the stripped down 2-minute version is awesome. It doesn't stick around too long. It makes you want for more. That's what a song should do. You should want to hear more of it, not less. So now we're up to 70. We're up to 70. My explanations are going to get more and more in depth too as we go up, because I'm going to have to explain why certain songs are where they are, I think. All right, at 70. We're going to the 70s with this one. Dream On by Aerosmith. Eminem did not do this song a great service by sampling it. And it's not the first time I've said that about an Eminem song, and it probably won't be the last. Dream On is this fantastic, wonderful song. And anytime I hear the Eminem version where he samples it, Live for the Moment or whatever the hell, then I have to go listen to the Aerosmith version of Dream On, because it teases you with the good parts of the song, and then it just cuts away to Eminem rapping. And Eminem's not on the top 100 either. Yeah, Dream On is fantastic. It's a great song. It's awesome. You can't even tell it's Steven Tyler in the opening part of the song. It shows that the guy's got more vocal range than he states he does. In all of his other songs since then, I guess. Number 69. Stop giggling. Grow up. House of the Rising Sun by Eric Burdon and the Animals. This is the original. This is the fantastic, the magnificent. What a great song. This, again, is a song that you don't need a video. The vocals, the lyrics just take you there. You can picture it in your mind. You're there. And it's a bleak song. It's dark, and yet it's beautiful and it's haunting at the same time. It's absolutely fantastic. It is one of those songs that resonates throughout the years. One song that to me kind of could have been top 100 and isn't on here, that kind of does that for me too, is Peace Frogs by The Doors, which is a great song. Just not on this level. But House of the Rising Sun is awesome. Number 68, very short title. Atomic, Blondie, Debbie Harry. I love the Pretty Reckless. The Pretty Reckless are awesome. Debbie Harry was the original. Taylor Momsen is going to be accused of ripping off a lot of people, I'm sure, if she hasn't been and isn't regularly already. But for me, Pretty Reckless are an updated version of Blondie. I see it, I hear it in their music. That's why I buy Pretty Reckless CDs. I have their CDs. I really like what they do, and it goes back to the fact that I always loved Blondie. And Atomic was their best song. No, One Way or Another is not their best song. It's just the most played. Call Me is not their best song. It's also one of the most played. Atomic is the song that's just awesome. And for the bass solo in the middle, Atomic is amazing. Number 67, you've never heard this song before. Black Sun by The Cult. If you want to hear a song that is enriched with anger and hatred, Black Sun by The Cult is absolutely it. Bar none. That entire album, which was just The Cult, which is, I don't think there was a title for it. I'm pretty sure there wasn't a title for it. It had so many good songs on it. Coming Down, and then in parentheses, Drug Tongue. Star was another great one. The whole album is just rife with great, great songs by The Cult. And again, much like Def Leppard, where I talked about Pearl Euphoria, it suffers from the fact that it's different. So their fandom went, this is different, we don't like it. And it's too bad, because it was really pretty awesome. Firewoman is a great song of theirs too, not on here. She Sells Sanctuary, not on here. Black Sun is, though. It is a great song. Next, 66. One of the few where it's women singing. Yeah, there's no Samantha Fox on here. I thought about it, but for my 100 favorite ever, that's not on it. Hazy Shade of Winter is, though, which is the Bangles. It is the song that the Bangles said most represented their sound of all of their hit songs. It was Susanna Hoffs became the focal point of the band, which I never understood. I thought Vicky Peterson was better looking, but Susanna Hoffs was considered to be the lead vocalist, which again I thought Vicky Peterson could sing too. And this video and song combination was really really awesome. I remember the first time I heard Hazy Shade of Winter, and I know it's a cover by the Bangles. I was just blown away, and I've never got tired of this song, not for a minute. It is just amazing. They hit it right out of the park. Susanna Hoffs does bring it home. She does sing the last verse, but up until then, it's everybody singing, and it's a harmony, and it's awesome. So highly recommend, and it's as close to me liking a Christmas song as you're gonna get. Back to the 80s, 65, Motley Crue, Looks That Kill. Looks That Kill has just a great riff, and unlike Dr. Feelgood, they never ruin it. Looks That Kill just has this great, just thundering beat, thundering guitar, and it's just relentless. It just continues that all the way through, and it is awesome. Just great. And that is the only other Motley Crue song. So if you're waiting for Smoking in the Boys' Room, you came to the wrong list, because I hate Smoking in the Boys' Room. I also don't like Kickstart My Heart. I think that's one of the most overrated songs in history. Looks That Kill is just amazing. It's just so well done and well put together. There's no Van Halen on this chart either, in case you're wondering. Number 64. And it's the only song by this artist that's on this chart, and I had to have it on here. Running Down a Dream by Tom Petty. The world lost Tom Petty. It was a great sadness. My favorite song of his is Running Down a Dream. Close second, not on this list, is Climb That Hill. Tom Petty's Climb That Hill, which is from the movie, I think it's She's the One or whatever. It's from a soundtrack, and it's kind of buried. It's kind of forgotten. If I had a dime for every time I've heard Mary Jane's Last Dance over the last 6 months, I'd be a rich man. I don't understand why. Maybe they got tired of playing Running Down a Dream, but I don't hear it as much as I hear Free Fallin', Into the Great Wide Open, and there's some really good songs. But for me, Running Down a Dream and Climb That Hill are his best. Climb That Hill is just awesome. Just amazing. Probably number 101, if we go that far. Number 63. The highest charting Queen song is Innuendo. Innuendo is this great arching story. And Innuendo has some elements of Bohemian Rhapsody in it, and it's in their last album. So when they recorded this, Freddie Mercury was aware that he was on his way out, and Innuendo is just a great album. It is a great tribute to everything Queen. It touches on a little bit of everything, and it's just... Queen albums for me were always kind of thin. You'd have 2 or 3 really good songs, 3 or 4 really pretty good ones. They have a couple of cringe-worthy ones stuck in the middle. But this album was really good from start to finish, and I was really quite impressed with it overall. And Innuendo is just, to me, it's the best Queen song. It is just gorgeous. Number 62. Speaking of gorgeous, Duality, Slipknot. It can't get much more different than Slipknot and Queen, or can you? There's a lot of elements to Slipknot's music that I think borrows from classic rock. And this is one of those songs where you can listen to it and say, oh, it's just some pure metal thing. But there's more going on to it. There's a lot of layers to this song. And it is really a beautiful song. Even though he's talking about putting his fingers in his eyes, it's really actually a pretty song. Corey Taylor hit a lot of high points in this song. There's a lot of hardcore Slipknot fans that think that from this album on they fell off the map. I personally disagree. I think that, for instance, The Grey Chapter is their best album. I think it's just awesome from start to finish. Even the weird part with just them all talking to each other at the end, that's kind of sped up and made to sound weird. Even that's just intoxicating. Everything about Slipknot in that album is just awesome. And to me, it starts with Duality. Before that, they had a lot of chaos, and Duality was the first song for me that sounded really melodic, and it had a lot of elements while keeping its heavy metal roots intact. And number 61, ending this chapter. Back in Black, AC/DC. It's the highest charting AC/DC song. Yeah, Back in Black is just it again. You'll notice as my chart goes along, I like songs that have this really strong beat, consistency, and they don't really go for the hook. Back in Black has a hook, but it's not as obvious as Thunderstruck or Money Talks or any of the later songs they did, where they clearly were going for the commercial appeal. Or the most egregious one for me of all the AC/DC songs is Big Gun. Big Gun is so... I had forgotten the song even existed until like a few days ago I heard it at work and I was like, oh, right. Big Gun. Yeah. That's Big Gun. Just it really is pretty poor towards the end, and it's too bad because they had some really good stuff. Back in Black is amazing. Hell's Bells is not on this chart. So before you ask, it's not on this chart. This was a very, 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 very difficult countdown to put together. Very difficult. I had to cut out a lot of songs I really like. So there you go. We're up to 61. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. And hey, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.